Stop whatever you're doing because this is not just gossip. This is the kind of scandal that shakes the entire foundation of hip-hop culture and reality. TV drama all at once. Jim Jones, the legendary Harlem rapper, the man who's always kept his image larger than life, has just been dragged into the most humiliating and heartbreaking public moment of his entire career. Brooke Bailey, the outspoken reality star who's been at the center of wild speculation for months, just detonated a bombshell that no one saw coming. On camera.com, collected and without even flinching, Brooke looked straight into the lens and declared, "I don't have a relationship with Jim Jones." Those words weren't just cold, they sliced through Jim's pride, his history, and his carefully guarded persona like a knife. Insiders say Jim Jones wasn't ready for this. In fact, he thought Brooke was about to confirm their connection, not bury it. What happened next? A meltdown so raw, so explosive, that even his closest friends are begging him to pull himself together before it destroys what's left of his reputation. From leaked voice notes of late-night arguments, to secret DMs now flooding Twitter, to Chrissy Lampkin's alleged reaction that might just set Instagram on fire. This is bigger than a breakup. This is a public dismantling of a hip-hop icon's private life. And trust me, the fallout is just beginning. Buckle up, because this story only gets darker from here. The night it happened will go down in hip-hop gossip history as the moment the mask was ripped clean off. What began as a string of whispers in dimly lit nightclubs and Hollywood after-parties spiraled into a full-blown public humiliation for Jim Jones, the man who once strutted with the confidence of Harlem royalty, now reduced to watching his world collapse with the flick of Brooke Bailey's tongue for weeks. Fans had been glued to their screens, dissecting every movement, every blurry photo, every half-hearted denial between Jim and Brooke. The chemistry was undeniable, the smiles that lasted a beat too long, the way her hand lingered on his arm at industry mixers, the paparazzi shots of them slipping out the back doors of LA hotspots. Blogs called it the Harlem heatwave. Twitter crowned them the unlikeliest power couple of 2025. Even Jim himself started playing into the speculation, dropping cryptic captions under selfies. Sometimes the best things are unexpected. His followers ate it up, convinced he'd found a new queen after his stormy saga with Chrissy Lampkin. But the fairy tale shattered in one cold, calculated moment. Brooke Bailey, standing before a small crowd of reporters outside a Beverly Hills event, didn't flinch. Cameras rolled, flashbulbs popped, and when the inevitable question came, "So, Brooke, what's really going on with you and Jim Jones?" she delivered a sentence so brutal it echoed like a gunshot. "I don't have a relationship with Jim Jones. There's no romantic connection, nothing more than what people think." The crowd gasped. Journalists nearly dropped their microphones. Twitter went into immediate overdrive. But the person most crushed by those words wasn't the press or the fans, or even Chrissy watching from the shadows. It was Jim, sources say. Jim had been preparing himself for the opposite, for Brooke to finally admit the connection, to maybe even ride the scandal with him into a new chapter of public attention. Instead, she torched it, leaving him exposed, vulnerable, and humiliated. One insider whispered that Jim watched the clip replay on TMZ over and over, muttering, "Why does she play me like that?" And then came the leaks. Within hours of Brooke's denial, an anonymous account on Instagram at Tea Room Exposed uploaded screenshots of what they claimed were Jim's desperate late-night texts to Brooke. The messages were long, rambling, almost pleading. "I thought we was building something." One read, "You the only one I trust with my heart right now," said another. But the replies, ice cold, short-cutting, dismissive. The one that went viral instantly. "Stop texting me like we together, Jim. We're not." Fans were ruthless. Memes exploded across TikTok, with users editing clips of Jim's hit ballad to show him crying alone in his car. Twitter trended with #PoorJim and #Brooke, the HEARTBREAKER. One fan tweeted, 15 years of Chrissy's life wasted, and for what? For Brooke to curve him on camera? Karma's real. Another chimed in. Jim went from Dipset boss to Brooke's delusional side piece overnight. Sad. But the internet wasn't done tearing him apart. A popular podcast host dropped a bombshell email she claimed was sent anonymously, containing voice notes allegedly recorded by Brooke herself. In one clip, a female voice believed to be Brooke sneers. He think just 'cause he a legend, I'm supposed to play girlfriend. Ah, he's delusional. If the audio was real, Brooke wasn't just denying Jim publicly, she was mocking him behind closed doors. The betrayal hit harder than anyone expected. Blogs ran headlines like, "From Ballin' to Broken Jim Jones, exposed by Brooke Bailey." Rap forums lit up with veteran fans debating whether Jim had finally destroyed his own legacy. Even Fat Joe allegedly dropped a comment under one viral post. Damn, not my bro Jimmy getting played on Front Street. And then there was Chrissy Lampkin, the woman who had weathered Jim's storms for 15 long years. The one who had stood by him through public proposals, canceled weddings, and endless tabloid rumors. According to multiple gossip sites, Chrissy went live that same evening, wine glass in hand, coy smile on her lips. She refused to name names, but when a fan asked in the comments, "Ain't you glad you dodged a bullet with Jim?" Chrissy smirked and delivered what might be the coldest clapback of the year. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. That single line trended for 8 straight hours. Twitter crowned Chrissy the queen of petty. Instagram reels looped her laugh-in slow motion with captions like, "Legendary shade." And while the world applauded Chrissy's savage wit, Jim reportedly spiraled deeper into despair. Insiders close to Dipset leaked that Jim canceled a studio session that night, breaking down in tears and admitting he couldn't even focus on music. Paparazzi caught him later sitting alone in his car outside a Harlem nightclub, head buried in his hands, visibly shaken. The photos spread like wildfire, captions calling him the man who lost it all. But just when fans thought the humiliation couldn't go any deeper, whispers began circulating that Brooke wasn't denying Jim to protect herself, she was denying him to protect someone else. Gossip blogs hinted at a secret new romance, someone more powerful, someone already in Brooke's orbit. A blurry paparazzi shot surfaced of her dining in Beverly Hills with a mystery man in a black hoodie. Fans zoomed in, swearing it was an NBA player. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. Jim wasn't just being denied, he was being replaced. According to one insider, Jim lost control when he saw the photos. He allegedly called Brooke in a fury, and while no full audio leaked, a 30-second clip hit Twitter of a male voice shouting, "Don't play me like I'm some joke, Brooke." Don't. Whether authentic or manufactured, it was enough to fuel the fire. The internet painted Jim as a man unraveling, his tough Harlem exterior crumbling under the weight of rejection. And yet, beneath all the chaos, the darkest rumor of all began to surface that Chrissy Lampkin, tired of being the silent observer, had quietly begun meeting with producers to plan her own tell-all special. If that's true, then Jim's nightmare is only beginning, because Chrissy isn't just holding back her thoughts, she's holding back 15 years of secrets. And once she starts talking, everything Jim has tried to bury may finally explode into the light. The fallout from Brooke Bailey's cold denial wasn't a passing storm. It was a hurricane ripping through Jim Jones's life, leaving chaos in its wake. By sunrise the next morning, blogs had plastered his face across their front pages with captions that read like obituaries for his reputation. From legend to laughingstock screamed one headline: "Brooke Bailey buries Jim Jones said." Another. But the scandal didn't stop at memes or speculation. It was about to evolve into something even more destructive. A string of leaks, betrayals, and emotional breakdowns that turned Jim's private pain into public entertainment. The first bombshell arrived via TikTok. where a clip surfaced showing what appeared to be Jim pacing in his living room during a FaceTime call. The video, allegedly screen-recorded by someone close to Brooke, captured Jim pleading, "Just tell me what I did wrong. If you was done with me, you coulda just said that. Don't embarrass me like this, Brooke." His voice cracked mid-sentence. The kind of vulnerability fans had never heard from the Harlem rapper. Within minutes, the clip went viral, amassing millions of views under the hashtag #JimBegging. TikTok creators had a field day overlaying sad violin music, slow motion, effects, and captions like "Brooke turned a baller into a beggar." But it didn't stop there. An anonymous gossip page dropped a second leak. This time, a full 2-minute voice note Brooke allegedly sent to a friend. In it, she laughed while venting about Jim. "He too old to be acting like this. I told him from the jump I wasn't. Looking for nothing serious. Now he wanna cry, please?" The voice was unmistakably hers, and fans lost their minds. Twitter threads erupted with accusations that Brooke had not only denied Jim publicly, but was ridiculing him in private, turning his heartbreak into her punchline. And if that wasn't humiliating enough, the blogs began connecting dots that no one wanted to believe. Several sources whispered that Brooke's denial wasn't just damage control, it was strategic. She wasn't hiding from Jim, she was hiding someone else. The Beverly Hills dinner photos resurfaced, and this time, the mystery man's identity allegedly leaked. According to insiders, Brooke had been quietly seeing an NBA star known for his notorious reputation with women. The theory: Brooke was distancing herself from Jim because the baller didn't want his name linked to hers while she still carried Jim drama. The betrayal sent Jim spiraling further. Insiders claimed he started blowing up Brooke's phone again. Even after she blocked him, he allegedly made new accounts just to send her messages on Instagram. One of those DMs was leaked to a blog, a heartbreaking plea that read, "Don't do me like this, Brooke. Don't let the internet clown me. You know it wasn't fake." Screenshots spread like wildfire, with fans clowning Jim for being reduced to desperate begging while Brooke publicly iced him out. Meanwhile, Chrissy Lampkin was basking in her glow. More clips surfaced of her speaking in sly tones during Instagram Lives, never mentioning Jim by name, but dropping hints sharp enough to draw blood. In one viral clip, Chrissy told a fan, "I told y'all I wasn't gonna waste another decade on no man that don't know what he want." The crowd in her comments went wild, flooding the live with clapping emojis and writing, "Say it louder for the women in the back." Behind the scenes, whispers of Chrissy's alleged reality TV deal grew louder. A producer close to VH1 reportedly leaked that she was in talks for a spin-off show centered entirely on her post-Jim life, tentatively titled Lampkin Uncut. If true, it meant Chrissy wasn't just watching Jim unravel. She was preparing to cash in on his downfall. Jim, however, wasn't handling the rumors well. According to one Dipset affiliate, he had an emotional breakdown during a late-night recording session. In a leaked audio clip allegedly captured by someone in the studio, Jim can be heard shouting, 15 years. 15 years, and for what? Now everybody laughing like I'm a joke." The audio cut off with a loud thud, as if he'd slammed something against the wall. Fans debated endlessly whether the clip was authentic, but its spread was unstoppable. It painted Jim as a man unraveling, unable to escape the shadow of Chrissy and the sting of Brooke's betrayal. The industry started chiming in. Rapper Menno tweeted, "Stay strong, my brother. Don't let these cameras break you." Meanwhile, love and hip-hop stars couldn't resist stirring the pot. Erica Mena commented under a gossip post, "Brooke ain't wrong though. She said what she said." That one comment alone sparked a Twitter war, with fans accusing Erica of kicking Jim while he was down. Even 50 Cent threw fuel on the fire, posting a meme of Jim crying with the caption, "Damn Jimmy, this ain't it." But the darkest twist came late one night when a burner Twitter account uploaded what they claimed was a leaked FaceTime recording. Not of Jim this time, but of Brooke, sitting on her bed, smirking as she told a friend, "He keeps blowing up my phone. He don't get it. Was never his girl." Whether authentic or fake, the clip went viral within minutes. Fans dissected every frame, every word, every smirk. The damage was irreversible. Jim was now painted as a delusional man clinging to a fantasy that never existed. The humiliation hit another peak when paparazzi caught Jim outside a Harlem diner, visibly distraught, clutching his phone. A fan nearby allegedly overheard him muttering, "I can't believe she did me like this." The photos spread across the internet with captions like, "From Dipset to devastated." Bloggers declared it the lowest point of his career, worse than any rap beef, worse than any industry setback. Meanwhile, Brooke seemed unfazed. She continued posting glamorous selfies, cryptic captions like "unbothered" and "protected energy only," fueling speculation that she was not only moving on but enjoying the chaos she'd created. Some fans praised her for being brutally honest. Others dragged her for humiliating Jim so mercilessly. But either way, she had the world's attention. The true nail in the coffin came when an insider claimed Chrissy had already filmed the first scenes of her spin-off. Allegedly, in one explosive confessional, Chrissy looked straight at the camera and said, "He embarrassed me for years." Now it's his turn to feel what it's like. If that footage ever airs, Jim's legacy could be permanently tarnished, and yet, in the middle of all this, whispers began to emerge of a shocking possibility. Jim wasn't ready to let this story die. Word is, he's been secretly working on a track, not a Dipset anthem, but a raw confessional diss record, aimed straight at Brooke and indirectly Chrissy. According to one source, the hook allegedly goes, "Played me on the gram. But I'm still the man. You'll never understand what it cost to be Jim." If the rumors are true, Jim isn't just trying to win Brooke back, he's trying to reclaim his narrative through music. But here's the catch. If the diss drops, insiders say Brooke has her own vault of unreleased receipts that could end him once and for all. And so, the stage is set for an even bigger explosion, one where music, reality TV, and personal vendettas collide in front of millions. But the question remains, will Jim survive the storm? Or will Brooke and Chrissy finish what they started and dismantle him completely? By the time the calendar turned another week, Jim Jones was no longer just the subject of gossip blogs. He was a walking spectacle of heartbreak and humiliation. Every hour brought a fresh leak, a cruel meme, or another celebrity chiming in with their 2 cents. But if anyone thought Jim was going to sit quietly and let the world laugh at him, they didn't know Harlem's capo. The silence broke in the most dangerous way possible. Through music, word began trickling out of studios in New York that Jim had locked himself in for days, refusing calls, ignoring appearances, working feverishly on something personal. Then came the whispers. It wasn't just music, it was a diss record. A track aimed directly at Brooke Bailey, laced with shots at Chrissy Lampkin and dripping with bitterness. When the snippet leaked online, it sent shockwaves. Over a hard, moody beat, Jim's raspy voice cut through. "Shorty played me on the gram. Had the world thinking I'm weak. But when the camera's off, you was crying in my sheets." The internet froze. Did Jim just claim Brooke was faking her? Denial? Was he about to air out private details of their alleged fling? Twitter erupted. Fans divided instantly, some saying Jim was reclaiming his pride, others blasting him for sounding desperate and petty. Brooke's name trended once again, not for what she did, but for what Jim was threatening to expose. But Brooke Bailey wasn't about to stay quiet. Hours after the snippet went viral, she posted a cryptic message on Instagram. Receipts always hit harder than raps. Alongside the caption was a photo of her phone, blurred, but clearly showing dozens of saved audio files. The implication was clear: if Jim came for her, she was ready to scorch the earth. Then the dam broke. A gossip blog uploaded what they claimed was one of those receipts, a voice note allegedly of Jim confessing to. Brooke, late at night. Chrissy, don't get me the way you do. With you, I feel alive. The audio clip tore across social media like wildfire. Fans couldn't believe their ears. The timing was brutal. Jim had spent years dodging questions about why he never married Chrissy, despite 15 years together. And now here was a supposed confession that he'd been emotionally investing in another woman behind her back. Chrissy Lampkin seized the moment. She went live, glass of wine in hand yet again, and this time she didn't hold back. Looking straight into the camera, she said, 15 years, y'all. 15 years I gave that man. And he out here leaving voice notes for a woman who don't even claim him. That's all I needed to know. The internet exploded. Clips of Chrissy's live circulated within minutes. Hashtags like #Chrissy deserves better and #JimExpose flooding every platform. Jim's response, another breakdown, but this time it wasn't just whispers. Paparazzi caught him storming out of a Manhattan studio, shirt disheveled, face red with anger. Witnesses say he screamed into his phone, "She's lying," twisting everything. Cameras caught every second, and the footage only cemented the image of a man spiraling out of control. But the most shocking blow was still to come. Out of nowhere, new Instagram account appeared, Brooke Exposes, and it began dropping clips one by one. Alleged FaceTimes, screen recordings, texts. The most damning, a grainy video of Jim pacing in a hotel room, holding a bottle, muttering, "Chrissy, don't ever have to know. This stays between us, Brooke." Whether real or expertly doctored, it didn't matter. The internet believed it. Within an hour, the clip hit millions of views. Fans declared Jim finished. One viral tweet read, "Chrissy wasted 15 years. Brooke used 15 minutes. Both of them left Jim looking like a clown." The humiliation should have destroyed him, but Jim did what rappers have always done in crisis. He doubled down against his team's advice. He dropped the full diss track on SoundCloud at midnight. It was raw, unpolished, and venomous. He called Brooke a liar, accused Chrissy of betrayal, and warned the industry that he wasn't done. Yet the lyrics were explosive. "You fed the blogs, you sold the lies. But remember, Brooke, Harlem never dies." The reaction? Nuclear. Fans flooded SoundCloud, crashing the site within minutes. Instagram lives popped up everywhere with people dissecting every bar. Some hailed it as Jim's emotional truth. Others mocked it as the last gasp of a desperate man. Brooke responded instantly with an Instagram live of her own, smirking as she scrolled through her phone, hinting she had more bombshells to drop if Jim didn't shut up. And then came Chrissy's masterstroke. Just hours after Jim's diss track, VH1 dropped the teaser trailer for her spin-off series. The trailer was short but brutal. Chrissy sitting in a dimly lit room saying, "He embarrassed me for years. Now it's my turn." Clips flashed of Chrissy crying, Chrissy laughing, Chrissy surrounded by friends telling her to move on. The tagline appeared in bold letters, "Lampkin Uncut, the truth behind the ring." 8. The internet lost its collective mind. Fans declared Chrissy had officially flipped the script, reclaiming her power while Jim was drowning. Memes crowned her the final boss of the saga. Brooke stayed unbothered, teasing her own potential reality TV crossover. And Jim? Sources claimed he shut himself off completely, retreating into silence, furious that Chrissy and Brooke had turned his private life into their public profit. But silence rarely lasts in this world. The final twist came from an anonymous tip sent to multiple blogs, a claim that Jim had secretly recorded conversations with Brooke, and that if pushed any further, he was prepared to release them. If true, it meant this war was far from over. Fans are now bracing for the possibility of another round of leaks, another spiral, another cultural explosion that could make the past few weeks look tame in comparison. The question isn't whether Jim Jones can recover, it's whether the man once known as Harlem's capo even wants to. Because right now, his pain isn't just entertainment. It's fuel for Chrissy's comeback, Brooke's spotlight, and the internet's endless appetite for drama. And if the whispers are true, the next chapter, with alleged recordings unreleased, disses and reality TV exposes, could be the most destructive yet. For now, one thing is clear. Jim Jones isn't just fighting Brooke or Chrissy. He's fighting an entire culture that has turned his breakdown into the biggest reality show of the year. And whether he wins or loses, the world is watching, and there you have it. The kind of scandal that doesn't just break the internet, it redefines it. Jim Jones thought he could outlast the storm, but Brooke Bailey's denial, Chrissy Lampkin's revenge, and the endless stream of leaks have turned this into something bigger than music, bigger than reality TV. It's a cultural earthquake shaking hip-hop to its core. And if you think this is the end, think again. Because every hour brings a new leak, a new voice note, a new piece of evidence that could flip the story upside down all over again tomorrow. Next week, even the next few hours could unleash something even more explosive, a diss track, a FaceTime receipt, or Chrissy's uncut spin-off reveal. The streets are talking, the blogs are plotting, and the fans are fighting over who's right and who's ruined. And the only way to make sure you're not left behind when the next bombshell drops is to lock in right here. So smash that like button, because every click pushes this story higher. Drop your wildest theories in the comments, because the fan theories are already as juicy as the leaks themselves. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button like your life depends on it. Because in this world, missing even one update means you're already too late. Jim, Brooke, Chrissy. Their war is far from over. And trust me, the next twist will be even darker than you can imagine.